We have special guest from CBS4, Jorge Estevez, in studio with us, who spent 8 days in the Gulf, and you can give us kind of like what's going on, George. Good morning, first off.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, I'm calling you the Gulf guy.
The Gulf guy?
The Gulf guy.
Is that like the Scud Stud?
Yes.
From the first Gulf?
A little slicker though.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's not talking about the hair.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, it's pretty sad actually what's going on as we're done jesting, but it's a reality that we're facing here in Florida. But over there, you know, things are getting under control as far as Florida is concerned. You know, we're not like Louisiana where it just kind of crept up on us. I mean, you look at those pictures. How do you even? But here in Florida, you know, we've done the booms in place, and we've closed inlets and open inlets during high tide and low tide, and Escambia County and Santa Rosa County and the Pensacola area, they're doing what they can to control it.
Yeah, it's sort of like in Louisiana, they were facing a tornado. We've got like the hurricane because we've got the advance notice.
Right, it is, and that's exactly a great way to describe it. It is a slow-moving hurricane. We know how to do it, we know how to prepare, but the sad reality is there really is nothing we can do to stop it.
So we saw it hitting the shores on the northern western coast of Florida, but is it going to work its way around to the Keys and all the way back around to the East Coast?
Yeah, well, CBS4 was there a week ago. The tar balls came up, and unfortunately there was a dead bird on Pensacola Beach, and then, yeah, it's awful. And then these things started happening, and then we saw oil 3 miles out. We took a private boat ride and saw little globs of oil just hanging out in the water. On the surface, so who knows what's under it, and that's the big question. But the reality is it may get caught in the loop current, as we've been hearing here in Florida, and then it's kind of miss Tampa, depending on the winds, and then kind of go around to the Fort Myers area, hit the Keys, and then come back up through Miami-Dade, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, and then go out to England.
Yes.
It's going to hang up there.
Back to BP.
Exactly, back to where it belongs. But the sad reality is that hurricane can really just blow everything out of the water.
Yeah.
So who knows what's going to happen then? But there's good news if it comes this way.
Okay, what's the good news?
As she looks at me with skepticism.
Sure, yeah, I'm just like, this guy's good if he can put a good news spin on this.
The good news is that the ocean takes care of itself. You know, marine life takes care of the ocean takes care of us. And the tar balls, the oil, anything that comes this way, by the time it gets here, everyone's looking at me like, what is he going to say? By the time it gets here, the tar balls will be weathered. The oil will be deteriorated, despite all the dispersants and everything else that they're doing. God knows what that's going to do. But the reality is that yeah, by the time the tar balls come here, they'll be weathered.
Right.
And they'll be smaller or less toxic or easier to pick up.
And we could just pick them up in a little basket?
Well, Donna, maybe not you.
Okay.
You know, you probably shouldn't pick up anything hazardous.
Alrighty.
We don't want anything happen to your manicure.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. It's a good one.
Right. But, again, that's the frustrating part. We were talking about that. The fact that
People can't help.
People can't help. And when I was in the Panhandle, people wanted to help. I had an environmental group, the head of the environmental, I don't know, the Emerald Gulf Coast Keepers. So kind of a big deal, these people. They had a website and everything. So you know they're official when they have a website.
I got a website.
Exactly. So, and she's like, I have hundreds of volunteers that I've been accumulating over the weeks, and they can't do anything. They'll actually get in trouble. I mean, not in trouble like your mom or dad, but they'll get off the beach. Don't come near the tar ball. This is my tar ball.
It's tied up with corporation.
Right.
Yeah, but I think if you're on a beach and you see stuff, I think people's natural reaction is just to get what you can, kind of clean it up. But what's the latest? Because you're in the news department. What's the latest on the actual oil coming out, and where's it going, and how much is being captured?
As of right now, there was a tanker that was put in place weeks ago to collect some of the oil, and they capped it, and they sliced it wrong, and we know all that stuff. Yeah. But so the tanker's there to get some of the oil out, and then they have to switch tankers. But as of right now, they're saying sometime in July they'll have 90%.
Now, see, President Obama said that in his speech the other day, and a lot of people were like, really? 90%? Can you say? I mean, listen, we've had so many different estimates on how much is coming out and how much is gushing, and this. It's hard to believe 90%.
You're on it. I agree with you completely. And the other day, 2 days ago, we found out it was twice as much that was leaking. How many barrels? You know what confuses me? Can you either stick to barrels or can you stick to gallons?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Why are you messing with my head?
Yeah.
Like, because, people don't know gallons. People don't know barrels.
Right.
They know gallons.
Yeah.
So one day it's gallons, the next day it's barrels, and it looks smaller, but it's barrels bigger than a gallon, an inch is bigger than a foot. I mean, it's like, how are you doing this?
See, for regular people, we should stick with gallons. If I were a BP exec, I would stay with barrels.
Right,
because it sounds like less.
It sounds smaller.
Stay away from liters. That's what I would say right now. Jorge Estevez, CBS4, is here with us this morning.
The Gulf guy.
There has got to be a way that we can help. Obviously, we mentioned we can't go out physically clean up, but there are ways to help through donations, right?
Yes, and Donna, you cannot go to the beach and pick up tar balls.
No, I cannot. I know you've told me not to do that.
Don't do that.
But you can go to different sites like the Audubon Society. You can donate to them, and they will help with the cleaning of the wildlife by using your money.
Right, and how sad is that?
It's the worst. I think that's always the face of an oil spill, that you see those little birds stuck in the oil and you just want to die.
And a fun fact, and by fun I don't mean fun, but the fact that these birds, when they get captured, once they're covered in oil, they sit and get stable for a day or two, covered in oil, in the warehouse that they've chosen, before they even clean them, because cleaning them can hurt them. And it's so harmful that, yes, they have to stay oiled for a day or two until they get medically stable, and then the cleaning process goes, and then they're unstable all over again. Because picture it, you're a bird, you think it's prey. We're grabbing you, we're touching you and cleaning you.
Sure, it's tough. Stressful.
Yeah, very stressful. So that's an interesting fact on that. But as far as helping, locally, we have a segment here on CBS4 called Good For You. Get it? For? CBS4.
Cute.
Good times. Took me a day to come up with that. So, Good For You, last Friday, we interviewed this lovely couple from Germany. They came here 5 months ago for the American Dream.
Great.
Do you know what they're doing?
Oh, no.
They're giving back. They're bakers.
That's American, baby.
I'm telling you, Donna, Joe, I'm telling you. So they're baking cookies. And they're called oil spill cookies. And they're really good.
Okay, so I'm thinking they're really gooey, chocolatey, like oily.
Keep on coming. What else?
Cookies, right, okay, and then?
They got chips in them. Really good.
They taste great.
80% of the proceeds they're going to donate to 2 Key West environmental groups.
That's fantastic.
In light or in advance of the oil coming here, which we said probably will, hopefully in a good form. But so they're doing that. The Espressionist Cafe in Coral Springs.
Yeah, okay. So if you go to the Espressionist Cafe in Coral Springs, buy some oil spill cookies, and they're going to give you money.
They're like $3.50, whatever. I mean,
That's
I
great.
thought it was interesting. You know, what you guys talked about, your listeners, I'm sure, want to do something.
Right.
So this is something you can do, and I'm sure other organizations out there, this is your hint.
Yeah.
Do something.
You get to eat a yummy cookie, please.
Really? I should have brought some.
Twist my arm.
Sorry.
So what's next on CBS4? You guys continue to cover through the whole team.
Yeah, we're here, and we do it every day at 5 o'clock, and then at 6 o'clock, and at 11 we bring you the latest information, because you know what, it impacts the country, but it impacts us too here in Florida, because we're gonna see it. It's a matter of not if, but when. So we kind of do that and get the updates and make sure all the small people here know what's going on.
Do you know what I do? Is I get wistful now. I went to the beach over Memorial Day weekend, and I just look at the water now, and you see, you don't appreciate what you have until you think you're going to lose it.
I can see that. So what do you look out and you like get all...
Well, yeah, you get the clump, because here you sit and you look at this beautiful, and you start thinking of all the times you went sailing and you went diving and you did this and you did that. I mean, we take for granted the beauty that we have here in South Florida. Now that it's threatened...
Especially our beaches are so...
gorgeous.
Awesome.
All right. George Estevez, CBS4. Say hi to Emilio Estevez for us, too. I know you guys are
you guys
tight.
related?
Actually, we're 17th brothers 14 times removed.
Okay.
Terrific.
So you're the one they don't invite over for Thanksgiving?
All right. CBS4, thanks so much, George.
Oh, George, you rock.
Thank you. You guys are awesome.
823 Magic 102.